Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first lecture series of the year. This lecture series is organized by the Division of Research and Innovation, National Sport Institute, ISN. My name is Mohd Razali, and I will be your host for today's program. I would like to start by going over some housekeeping details. There will be one live session by Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Appukutty. The question and answer session will be at the end of the lectures, but feel free to post questions related to the lecture in the chat box. We will take note for them and address them at the end of the lectures. All participants, please fill up the pinned Google form to record their attendance. Based on the information in the form, you will be given an e-certificate. So do make sure that the information is correct. We will email the e-certificate as soon as it's ready. Now, let's move forward with a brief introduction of our speaker today, Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Appukutty. Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Appukutty is a lecturer at the Universiti Teknologi Mara UiTM in the field of nutrition. Dr. Mahendran was the head Center of Postgraduate Studies from 2014 to 2019 at the Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation, UiTM Shah Alam, and started his academic journey in 2001. He has completed his sabbatical leave research on sport and proteomics at Jeffrey Chia School of Medicine and Health Science, Monash University, Malaysia. He holds a PhD in nutritional science, focusing on nutrition, immunity, and exercise performance from Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, his Master of Sports Science from Universiti Science Malaysia, and Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Community Health from Universiti Putra Malaysia. He is the Vice President of Nutrition Society of Malaysia in 2020 and conferred as Fellow of FNSM since 2016. He also served as Vice President of Malaysian Association of Sport Medicine, Vice President of Malaysian Society of Body Composition, and Council Member of Malaysian Association for the Study of Obesity. He also representative for exercise physiology, sport medicine for World Obesity Federation. His research interests and focus are on functional food, health, and exercise science. He collaborates with government and private agencies for many community nutrition, promotion, and research projects. He has contributed toward capacity building of nutritionists in the region, and also served as chairperson of Nation Nutrition Leadership Program and Southeast Asia Public Health Nutrition Leadership. Without ado, let's welcome Associate Professor Dr. Mahendran Appukutty. Dr. Mahendran, your mic, please. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm talking to myself. Sorry. This is a technical glitch. Thank you again, Rizal, for kind introduction of me. And this is a pleasure for me to be with all of you here with ISN. Thank you very much to ISN for inviting me to deliver a lecture on the probiotics. Is it important? Is it essential? That's a good question, right? We will know in the end of the section what we have learned. And I must thank everybody here who are attending, despite of your busy schedules and everything. Thank you very much for attending it. This is first lecture of ISN, my slide to be given. Let me see, where is my slide? Okay. All of you can see my slide, right? Rizal, yes. Can see, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. This will be the title that I've given for probiotics or for sports and fitness essential? Is it a good question that we need to ask ourselves? Is this probiotic is good for us or not? How far it is substantial evidence available? What is the next trend? What is the world is looking at it? What is the regulatory perspective in Malaysia setting? We have to know our own country first before we are looking at elsewhere. Well, I think Rizal have introduced me lengthily. I've told him no need, but he have said that this is the lecture that I've been. Thank you again to the ISN for inviting me. My sincere appreciation to ISN and behind the screen. Yeah, Nuga is been communicating me every angle. She will email Dr. Mahen, please, this, and then Rizal, the other hand. I must say, Rizal was my student before for my master's. He's also an alumni of UITM, Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation. So it's really a proud to be here to share with that. And I thank again for Institute Sukarnegara for that. And mind you, and we are all sitting too long maybe in the computer and everything for those days we work for 8 hours. Now we look like you're sitting like 8 hours with the computers. Your computer also need rest. And also same thing like you, we need to do more physical activity, at least move around. If you have to sit and just toes and move your fingers and everything, this is very important. Prolonged sitting, it hurts in many ways in the body system. Okay. And I must introduce my university. That's Hakiki kan. Kita kena introduce my university. This is in a bird's eye view. You will see UITM. Some of the greens are missing already. I mean, too much of development is coming up. But that's where the country growth and the university's growth are there. And this is our chancellery. And those days we used to call ourselves a high achievers territory. Yet now we are, our conquer there is still there. Our faculty is still there because of the high achiever territory came because of the 2 of UITM student and 1 from our faculty who have climbed up to the Mount Everest. Just to clarify, I'm Mahendran here, but I'm not the Mahendran who climbed up to the Mount Everest. I'm only up to the base camp level. Then people get confused. This is the university in a long, broad picture. We are the largest university in the country with the 14 branch campuses. This is the data in 2019. Yeah. Numbers are increased. We got more students and we are moving up in the ranking and everything. Well, for today's topic, I will talk about the dietary supplement directly a little bit because this is all the products in the probiotics comes in our daily life in the dietary forms. So how far the athletes are taking in this way, and how is it the probiotics is helping us, and what is the role probiotics in sports, and some take-home messages. That would be my talk for the day. So why dietary supplement? And any cherry fruits, and then you see if they think that's something good, they make it a tablet out of it. They make it a juice base on that. So now it's all people are looking at the beyond the food. What is inside there? They want to extract the thing and then move on with that. And as an alternative food, it becomes a supplementation. In recent years, we can see more. Yeah, even in this COVID, I think a lot of people are talking about dietary supplement where they want to boost up the immune systems and everything on. As a practicing nutritionist, we don't recommend any dietary supplements. We look at your diet first. We have to study your diet first. A dietitian and nutritionist work together to look at it, how far you need a requirement or not. We have to study first. It's not something that you just pop in the pills and you will get better. It is not that. We have to look at the whole concept. It's a holistic approach. So supplement doesn't demonstrate to be essential nutrient. It is not. It's just promoted as a health enhancing. How far is it health enhancing? Yet to be studied. yet to be known. Evidence need to be shown. It is not because my grandmother say so, or it's because my friend say so. It's a supplement base. It is not like that. We have to be understand the science behind it. So it can be a herbal base, plant base, or it can be an animal base as well. And this has been going on centuries. Yeah, by the culture, the community, ethnicity, a lot of things. We Malaysians, we have our own way of introducing a lot of dietary supplements in our daily life. Ulam lah, fruits and vegetables basis, and many things, even the herbs from plant base and everything. This is all are based on generation to generation. Nevertheless, it's all supplementation is a personal decision. They don't consult with a healthcare professional like a nutritionist or dietitian for advice or recommendation. This is over the counter. People just go buy anything they want. So we have to educate as a nutritionist, as a dietitians in the practitioners. They really need to do more. They have to educate the public. What is the role of the diet? In athletes, they are individualized in nutrition plan. It is not one model fit for everybody. They have to understand, but based on scientific principle, scientific evidence, how the practice is going on. So this is where the nutritionist and dietitian will give us a good advice to the athletes to perform. But sad to say, among sports elite athletes and everything, there's so many because they've been influenced. Manufacturers marketing strategy. Oh, you take this one will give you this much, and this is what other people are taking. Is there any evidence to talk? That's where we have to educate. We have to know the athletes or the coaches to understand the concept of dietary supplement first for an athlete itself. So if you see research, it's going up. So something that's very good now, I can see that it is increasing linearly. It's going up. That is good because that shows that the scientific world, the scientific people in the work in the nutrition and sport, health sciences, the sports sciences people are looking forward in that and trying to substantiate their claims. Okay, this product will give you this much. So this is all a very good sign that we have to look at it. Well, probiotics. We will come to the probiotics. If you see here, it's a fruits and vegetables product, what they call juice base. Yeah, it is not a probiotic inside there yet. It might be. You can add it up. You will form in a sachet form or anything, and then make it as a drink, healthy drink and everything. So what I'm trying to say, probiotic can be incorporated in your daily life. My question is, you have to answer this now or later. That at the end of the session you will know, is probiotic for sports? Is it a yes or it's a big no? So we have to answer that. We have to take role on that. We have to ensure our understanding is correct so that we can pass over to the next generation or athletes or whoever that we come across. How important is products? Not a product, a food is good for us. We have to really understand that. So keep in the mind, yes or no, later we can answer that. So I have talked about the dietary, and we understand that dietary patterns in our region are quite different compared to the West people. We cannot be putting same thing. We cannot be eating pasta for daily and everything. They eat wheats and everything, all what they call bread. And are we going to do that? No. We have our own way of eating. We have rice. We have many noodles and everything. We in Malaysia, we are blessed with the three major ethnic groups of Malay, Indian, Chinese, and we got a different style of eating it, and all the combination of food as well. So all these things are important. Why? Different type of diet influence the gut system. So we have to understand that how the gut systems play a role. That is the relevancy to come to the probiotics as well, because probiotic lives in our gut system, in a large intestine system. It lives there, and it's been supplied to live with your prebiotics, which is we get it from our vegetables, fibers, and things, so that it so that it eats and then live together. Mind you, That's nothing. What they call people must understand that more is not merrier. You have to moderate level of food based on your dietary requirement. Well, this old grandfather, any science background people on the medical health sciences, we people have come across of the medical mention about Hippocrates, who mentioned about it. Our food should be our medicine, and our medicine should be our food. Well, that is the Western people say so. Yeah, we must understand that our Asian diet, our culture diet that I have mentioned to you earlier, our Asian food already dictate us that food can be the medicine, but medicine cannot be the food. Don't eat medicine as a food. This is what the world is moving on, the dietary supplements and everything. We have to encourage and educate the public, and we also the athlete per se, why and how, what to get from all these legumes and the plant-based and all these things, what we can do. We have to understand the concept first, then what they call practice accordingly. So what is the definition of probiotic? It's a friendly microbacteria that lives in our gut system. Through adequate administration, must be a proper way of entering in our system, and we must have the numbers, vials of the microorganism berapa banyak itu perlu pastikan, because then only it can provide the health benefit to the host. If not, it's not going to give you anything. So you think there's a good bacteria and the bad bacteria. That doesn't mean the good bacteria. You okay? Saya tahu good bacteria. I'm going to add up more inside our diet, and it's not going to help you. Then you have to balance. Everything goes in the moderate level. You have to understand that. So anyway, probiotic is a new buzz in the human dietary portfolio. Though in Asian diets, we've been practicing fermented food for ages. Ya, yang ditapai, yang difermentasikan, makanan, all this food is already been in our practice for ages. Our late grandparents and have already taught. They have learned science more than us. What we are doing is just practicing what they have learned. We are never learned. We are just practicing at the moment. This is where we have to buckle up more. We have to read. We have to understand, comprehend. When you understand, you practice. You start practicing. The knowledge must come. So I am talking about diet. I'm always emphasize on the culture and the food, and we have practice on the medicinal side and also the health enhancing properties. But unfortunately, not scientifically reported. Not much of scientific report is available. All these things have been going on for ages, and they know this is a good practice. But kita Asian populations, we don't so go publish in this Nature all these Lancet we don't do that all, because we always be a very quiet community who work on our own way and everything. But now lately, if you see China, you see Indonesia, fantastic. They talk about tempeh. They do research like left and right about this tempeh and probiotics. They assume tempeh as a probiotics for them, and they use it in their daily life. So it's a very good move. We have to move in that way. We have to understand. Now people are talking science, so we have to tell them. Natto in Japan, there are plenty of studies on probiotics going on in Japan and everything. In Thailand, for instance, in Korea, kimchi, their products and everything. India, God's sake, they have lassis, they have the dosas, the idlis, they're doughs that they make all are fermented base, and how that things works in our probiotics or prebiotics base. So Malaysia, we got Malay, we got indigenous group, we got Indians, we got a Chinese, all have a different style of eating as well. Different approach of encouraging people to eat diet. Any of them mentioned to you eat tablets? No. Or powder form or this thing. Powder also in the herbal base and everything, or they make it in their mode of delivery, but mostly are food-based. They have tried to educate our people to eat more on food-based. Our mothers are the best people to teach you. The grandmothers are supposed to be best mothers to learn from them. So in the probiotics, you start with the from the baby. There are some studies now to showing that even in the placenta, there's a presence of microorganisms. They are talking about it. There's more people are studying on that coming. So in the baby, after the born, those who have been breastfed formula fat, and then when they introduced the solid fat, all type of fumosates, bacteriocides and enterobacteria, proteobacteria, and many type of other bacteria, all starting from baby until you're elderly. So it's a lifespan. You grow with it, you live with it, and it will go with you. The day you're born until you go off, the bacteria is going to be with you. This is how we have to take care of the bacteria for our life. So in a sense of probiotic in health control, health benefits, there's plenty of roles probiotics play a role in immunomodulations. Now people are talking about the COVIDs and everything. People are talking about probiotics more, and metabolic effects. There are signs there. They already have plenty of works on this area that we have to look at it, and we can learn from here how probiotic can help. Initially, they started with the metabolic effects with the cholesterol lowering because of the bile productions, and then the cholesterol will be taken out. So the probiotics will help in enhancing this, lowering the serum cholesterol level, and then lactose intolerance people. So they do have some health and medical benefits. So this is all a review. People have done a lot of studies on this area, but still in the infant stage. I would say that there are more things to be discovered. The mechanism are there already. So in the live, when I mentioned that's live culture, that's also dead cultures as well. They mean the microorganism in the dead form. There are some studies ongoing on that, but what we are focusing here is actually on the live culture. So in probiotics, you from the drugs up to the probiotic infant formula, there's so many types. They also use for human, they use also for animal base as well. So in a non-probiotic fermented, because the content, if you want to talk about probiotics, the terminology, there is a definition for that. You must have 10 power of 6 and above in that particular product. So then only is classified as a probiotic. If it is not, it is just a fermented food, or we call it lactic acid bacteria, LABs, count there. It also have some potential helps and everything, but it's not called as a terminology as a probiotic. Don't worry about all this terminology, that much of it. As long as you are taking the food in a regular basis, you will get the benefit out of it. So microbiome, we have to learn about it, and then we have to understand the gut system, because the gut makes the role in the body system. People think only just muscle and performance and everything. All no, in sports, gut also important. In sports nutrition, people will look at the gastric emptying, how much the food goes, how fast it's been digested and then distributed to the whole body, and that's all we thought. But actually, it's going beyond. Gut have many roles. They have a role to play in many ways, and if that gut is been affected, the balance is not there, or dysbiosis we call that, because of antibiotic usage. Unnecessarily you take antibiotic, then you get a problem with that. Medical treatment, some drugs have an interaction with the probiotics. Poor hygiene, food and water, synthetic preservatives, glutens, herbicides, stress also. Look at it. Stress can be many forms. Physical stress also, so exercising, overdoing exercise also, it will go upset your gut system as well. So in the gut system, there's plenty of area that we really need to look at it. This is all the disease issues, and this is where the health benefits. This is a recent paper that very interesting role, British Journal of Medical Journal. They have talk about the gut microbiota in the nutrition component and the health composite. So we really need to focus. There are plenty of evidence coming up in this area that looking at the probiotic intake have improved the gut systems. And now lately they are talking about gut muscle axis. How from the gut, people already know the establishment of the gut brain axis, how easy it works. One of a few studies in already I'm working on this area and looking at how the gut brain axis on the psychology part and everything. And that there's a liver, there's well established data is coming up on this area. And also the other side is the gut muscle axis. So this is another area that exploration is moving on that in the study now. So what is a common probiotics that are available? We usually, there are plenty. We usually lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. That's the common one that we have in Malaysia, and we also endorsed it in our regulatory. And others are streptococcus and saccharomyces. There's plenty. And as I mentioned, lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, and saccharomyces is the common probiotics that available in our market now, and also people are encouraging more people. But this lacto and bifido, it's the main thing that people are using. How they use? The capsule form, stick form, powder, blend, chewable tablets. There are so many ways. Technology is improving. Innovative is there. So people don't want to eat by food. They're making it in tablet form. Which is, I don't emphasize on that. It looks like they're eating the tablets. Might as well eat the fermented food. It is already available. Why you want to take in the tablet or sachet and everything? So they also individualize the customized base and capsule sticks. By maybe they put their names inside the capsules as well. So come back to regulatory. This is a Malaysian setting. I'm talking about Malaysia. Yeah, in Malaysia, all agencies that we are looking at it is the Food Safety and Quality Division, FSQD, the Drug Control Authority, or we call it National Pharmaceutical Control Bureau, and the Committee for the Classification of Food Drug Interface Products. There are certain committees. They are trying to establish the sport nutrition food standard. Rizal knows about it because we do attend some meetings on that. ISM people always been invited for these meetings, and we wanted to emphasize on that more. Sorry. So it always comes under the fruits or drugs category. In our regulation, in 12th A schedule, 26A, there's two probiotics that we have classified. They're lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. This is list there. There's about 13 and 12 there. And what is the claim that we are trying to give? We tell them probiotics must, if they wanted to use a probiotic culture, helps in improving intestinal functions or intestinal or gut function. This is where this is people are given to put in their products if you want to. It's all word or similar. Any words, claims they wanted to put, they must go to the committee FSQD and get the approval. They cannot simply put what they want. So the term of use of probiotics also, just recently, 2017 only, we got to use this kind of probiotics inside there. And the law require must remain viable live here, not less than a 10 power of 6 of CFU for colony forming unit. So this during the shelf life must ada in the beverage. If it is not less, if the enforcement officer goes there and take the product from any shelf in the supermarkets or any shops, they can be charged for that. This is regulations based on Malaysian setting. So what we are trying to say, all claims require substantiation of evidence scientific base. So we really need to emphasize on that. Nutrition Society of Malaysia have worked on this a couple of years ago and talking about the probiotic education program. You are all free to go and look at it. Some papers, discussion with the gastroenterologists are there, nutritionists like myself also inside there. We wanted to talk and we want to educate the public as well. What is probiotic? They really need to know how to emphasize these things. So in sports, yesterday I did some in a PubMed, and you see the research in the probiotics and sports are also going up. 2020 now in baru in February, so little it will come, it will move up. So there's about 229 results going on. So that's a good sign that people are doing most research on this area to emphasize. And why this kind of importance that we are looking at the athletes? Because we know athletes are stressed. psychosocially or physiologically, they are already stressed. High intensity training load, they're thinking recovery, lack of recovery, insomnia. They don't want to sleep. But most of the athletes have issues of sleeping issues as well, because they're busy with many things, and their mind is too super scale of working. They are becoming like lecturer. We all sleep only 3-4 hours only. Fatigue, common, frequent competition. Now nothing lah. So far, because of training is been just been given, so they may start training. Traveling is very much prohibited at this point of time. GI discomfort, they have some issues, and sensitivity, intolerance of food and everything. Diarrhea is a common issue when you travel. Constipation, some of them don't want to drink waters, and or they don't want to take fiber food, and this is where it started. Food pattern change. They've got a stress and fear and failures, and a high expectation from coach, from the authorities and everything. So this is all life stresses that we are looking at it. This is vulnerable for them, and this condition can directly affect their sport performance. So what happened when exercise is emphasized and acute stressed, strenuous exercise goes, your immune function suppressed. So even in this COVID, we always tell people must do a regular exercise. You don't force. People say exercise is good for COVID, and I'm going to jump around and do more exercise and everything. It's not like that. You will suppress your immune system. You have to do it in a slow phase, gradual, yeah, and you must understand that is exercise is a stress factor, but you have to do it regular and continue it, and you must have a continuous. So in immune system immunity, we always say that the effect of exercise definitely is important, is enhance the NK cells and natural killer cells, and neutrophil functions has been suppressed, cytokines have improved. All these things have changes take place. Your CRP will go up when you're stressed. Definitely, and also is a clinical marker for immune what they call compromisation. This is one of the great scientists, Professor Neiman from US, who started showing the J curve. So he's telling the high intensity increases the infection. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do any high intensity training. It is regular and gradual, not at certain high impact. So this is all the important part of it that he's trying to say. It do suppress your immune system, so the infection risk is higher. So we really have to concern about it. How to what they call modulate this thing, help us to counterbalance this. This is where dietary is important. So always remember, excess of everything is unhealthy. Yeah, don't force thinking everything is good. So in probiotics, there are plenty of new studies are coming in this world. People are talking about, as I say, the muscle just now, muscle axis gut. So they are trying to find out, is there any supplementation, probiotic supplementation on lean body mass, strength and power, and other health indicators. So what they found that a positive impact in fat mass and peak power. They have shown the vertical jump power have increased. I show you in a graph in the recent poster basis, probiotic and training, the effect of muscle recovery and body composition. Very interesting paper, a recent paper. And what they are trying to potentially, the mechanism, they are trying to talk about how the probiotic and then works in the inflammatory level in the gut system, and then it's where it goes in the blood, and then induce in the thermogenesis, diet induced thermogenesis for the tissue. So this is where it works on the body composition part. And the skeletal muscle also must increase the muscle protein synthesis. This is all potential mechanism they are trying to say, and it will increase the recovery, muscle damage, soreness. All these things are still on the study. Yeah? More studies needed to talk about. And then brain for satiety will also improve their fat loss. So in the summary of that particular study, what they're trying with the combination probiotic with the protein that they're adding up, the combination is not a one per se, because it's a resistant training. So they have improved the recovery, and definitely because of the protein involved there, and the muscle soreness and muscle damage also is given some positive impact. But the body composition is a mix. result. Maybe we need more studies to show, and really clinical, gender based also need to be looked at it, and how is it impacting the body composition. So what is the international society of the sport nutrition? What their position they are talking about? This is a similar setting. So what am they trying to say? It can give you, but you have to really check on this. There are more things to be studied actually. Well, in Malaysian setting, how many papers are coming up in everything in this area? More and more people are coming up in these probiotics. Few of them from USM people have done it on the multi strains. That's another focus that we have to look. In a probiotic, we have a type of strains as well. What type? A single stripe or mixture, cocktail. There's so many type of bacteria, lactobacillus, bifidum bacteria, and all these combination. So in my studies, both my studies, I'm using a single strain. So in my animal model, we use a Lactobacillus plantarum. This is now still on studies going on the brain factors and everything for Alzheimer's and everything. So I tried it with the physical exercise, put them in treadmill in the animal model and look at it. And then recent paper that we published last year, we are looking at the Lactobacillus casei shirota strain and looking at the anxiety after the competitive footballers. So we really wanted to see it's any helpful or not. There is some helpful positive results are that showing there. And this is a guy, Asker. You are all registered to the My Sport Science. You can get more details and more information on that. So this is another way of looking at the brain axis. They are probiotic may influence the mood and cognitive and sleep as well. So you may not need a sleeping pill. Probiotic may help you. Yeah. So if you improve your gut system, your sleep also will be improved. So this is the psychobiotics term they call it now. So which is the microbiota gut brain axis, what from the brain into the gut. It's only one single vagus nerve is helping us inside there to prove it how far it's workable. And a review study, plenty is more and more is coming on the animal models or human models and everything. But all the while they say there are positive results and positive way because it can give you even the International Society of Sport Nutrition, their standards on the probiotic. This is the only paper that I found that they talk about probiotic per se alone. So what is a review was talking? There is a therapeutic effect is known, especially on the probiotic strains, and specific probiotic strain can help for the gastro-GI, respiratory disorders during training or competition. However, nevertheless, the studies indicate modest clinical benefits in terms of the frequency of severity of respiratory upper tract infection, cough, or sore throats and everything. I know it's a GI. So there are more and more papers come out, then the more people will talk about it. So this is where papers are looking at it. Gilson have talked a lot in this area before he writes in that. And also from the Gilson, another Gilson is actually from Australia. Gilson married. She did a lot. She's one of the first one to talk about the reverse fatigue level with the probiotic. That's where my interest in probiotic in sports came in actually. So daily probiotic definitely have indirect effect. Not directly, we cannot say direct now, or A you put, you get a B. Not yet. It may go some circle and come back to the B. That's how we are trying by the secondary health benefits. So what they are trying to say in this clinical research, GI, immune health, improve their nutrient absorption, speedy recovery, improve athletic performance. This is what the recent paper on the clinical probiotic research for sports come from the current opinion of clinical nutrition metabolism, metabolic care. So science in probiotic field is developing rapidly. A lot of, as I mentioned, and you can see many papers are coming there, and yet it is still in the early stage. We really need to do more, and we have to look at our own country perspective and everything. So what is a possible mechanism? People have talk about it. In a lot of already talk about in this colonization, short chain fatty acid production. So many they have already done. Similar now, they are looking at vitamin synthesis, especially in B12 and everything. Direct antagonism. They wanted to see any issues on the bile salt metabolism for the cholesterol level, enzymatic activities. People are really going one by one, and now the latest model that people are looking at the strain specific is the neurological effects. That's another thing that we'll explore more. Immunological effects, more papers are coming up in this area. Endocrinology is not much. People are need to really look at it. And the production of specific bioactive due to the probiotic intake. So one product goes in the probiotic goes, what is the byproducts coming out? What is the specific bioactive component is from there? So this is where people are moving and studying more in this area now. So other issues in probiotics, I really need a coordinated guidelines on probiotic classification, especially on regulation and everything. This is where Nutrition Society of Malaysia, under the PEP, the Protein Education Program, we are looking at it. We are working on the closely with FSQD on this kind of area to explore and educate public and let them know. People say, oh, probiotics if you take can cause cancer because of live microorganism. There's no data on that kind of things how to take. People just get a perception, myth kind of things here. And we have to focus on scientific substantiation on beneficial effects of this functional food with contained of the probiotics. Consumer education, I think this is very important. Not only public, also an athlete. They need to know what they're eating. They must know what they read the labels. How important is this probiotic? What is inside there? What type of strain is there? What is the live microorganism? What is the quantity inside there? So all these things need to be known. How it can be stored. Well, all education, ethical concern in functional food is essential. People must know their studies properly done or not. Funding is a major issue. That's, I think, every corner in academic world or research institutes, we have always this issue. So this is where we can work together with ISM and hopefully more things can come out. And technology development, definitely. We have to work with the food technologies. We have to work with the medical technologies. How is it merged and come out with a better, innovative way of measuring biomarkers inside here, or the product base as well. So now you can answer, is probiotic good for sports? I'm sure you're going to agree with me. It is yes, but more work to be done. But what is the evidence showing? It is helpful, but we take it with a pinch of salt. You really need to push more. People know there's evidence. Regulatory already accept probiotic good for the gut system. Data is there. For gut system is important. So definitely once you take care of your gut, the other mechanisms going to work, other axes that are going to work. So I would go probiotic for yes for sports. So what is my take-home message? Please take probiotic daily, not whenever you like and everything. Practice good healthy nutrition. Oh, I'm taking probiotic, I don't care about my food intake and everything. Follow the diet properly. Educate. So coaches there, or these athletes there, really need to encourage people to talk about it, healthy diet, healthy eating habits among the people. Work with the nutritionists, work with the dietitians to get a better understanding how your diet can be improved. And physical activity or the exercise really need to be monitored. You really need to do. Don't overdo it. Don't impress anybody. It's your own body. Don't overstress that. Screen time, reduce it. I know it's a wrong timing, COVID time. Sleep sufficiently. Minimum 7 to 8 hours. Please sleep. Important, important. So thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you, Dr. Mahen, for the interesting topic and for showing us to understand more about the probiotic, the benefits, and the probiotic to play the role in the sport itself. So, without further ado, we will go into the question and answer session now. The question being addressed will be highlighted for Dr. Mahen to answer and for the audience to see. So we go to the first question from Eng Hui Hua,
Yeah.
what is recommended amount to consume probiotic per day?
Yeah.
Back to you, Dr. Man.
Thanks, Rizal. That's a good question. As I said, I'm so glad people are already for going to the minimum way of understanding. That's a very good way. Eng Hui Hua, very good question. What we are trying to say is consume probiotic. If we follow the regulation, 10 power of 6 must be there. And it must be listed, yeah? It must be to inform in their products how much of live microorganism is there. They have to mention it. So minimum is 10 power of 6. That was the world standard. Also Codex, also Codex haven't accept probiotic yet, but they are trying to move. They have certain motion going on that, but internationally, what is the definition of probiotic? 10 power of 6 is the compulsory for that. Hope I answered.
Okay, thank you for the clarification, Doc.
Yeah.
So we go to the next question. So we wait for another question from Ku Ahmad.
Yeah.
So does probiotic help the irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, or that? Yeah.
Well, Ku Ahmad Hasmil, it's a good question again. And if you see my slide, I've already shown that probiotic definitely help in IBS. And it was a clinical study done in IMU on IBS, and they have shown proof that probiotic can help. And definitely you can take it for IBS and diarrhea. Definitely travelers diarrhea in sports people, yeah, when they travel, they have issues of eating disorders, and where this is travelers diarrhea can happen. Those days we give tablets and everything to control that, but now we are encouraging them to give probiotics. Improve your gut system, everything will be smooth. So my answer is yes for probiotic for IBS and diarrhea.
Thanks, Prof. So we go to the next question from Kamsina Aziz, and her question is: if someone following Malaysian food pyramid consuming 3 serving of veggies and 2 fruit in a day, is she or he get enough probiotic from so-called natural sources?
Okay. Well, good question. You are talking about MDG and Malaysian food pyramid. Many of you probably have seen the latest food pyramid. The fruits and vegetable is now in the bottom compared to the cereals and carb base in the second level. Those days is a twist over their side. Why we are trying to do that? We wanted to encourage more Malaysians to eat fruits and vegetable. We must understand that fruits and vegetable not a probiotic. It helps to give the prebiotic. It's have the prebiotic because of the fiber. Not all of it. Yeah, many of them. Those who have the fibers, what do you call that? Polysaccharides, oligosaccharides. That's the fibers inside there. They will go inside and help them to become a food for the probiotics. So you have to take probiotics externally. You have to take from the other products and everything. You take fermented. This tapai, there is a fermented, but it's a lactic acid bacteria is there. But in the masala again, I come back to the Western people. They put a classification 10 power 6. If you take yogurt in the thyroid, that the Indian people take that, even that also it not classified as a probiotic, but it is lactic acid bacteria presence there. The presence of bacteria is there. So that presence of, but if you take regularly, it will definitely help. Kimchi from the cabbage, fermented cabbage, it do have inside there because it's a fermented. But if you're taking fruits and vegetables per se, it not. It only helps you to give the prebiotics like onions and the ligaments there, the linens there. They will support the giving the food for the probiotic in your gut system. So it is not, you have to take extra externally on the probiotics there.
Thank you, Doc, for the detailed clarification. So hope we can go another question more.
Okay, yeah.
From Dr. Tunjing Seng.
Oh, okay.
What is the lifespan of essential probiotic? The second question from him is, what are the way to have rich probiotic in the body beside food intake?
Okay, the lifespan depends on how they made it. There's no essential probiotics in definition yet. Yeah, that we don't have essential and non-essential probiotics. Commonly is lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. That's a common one that we have been consuming throughout in Malaysia and everything. It's also accepted in the regulatory base in the Ministry of Health for the claims for the gut system. The storage is important. So some of it you need a temperature base, and some of it you can capsulate up. So it always based on the expiry date of that particular products. So very difficult to say, when it's outside, it can. If you buy probiotic drinks, beverages available in markets and anywhere, another thing I have to emphasize that I cannot say any product space. Yeah, so I cannot encourage any promote product. As a practicing nutrition, we have a code of professional conducts for that, so we cannot promote. So if you buy any products available in the market and I think you have to read the expiry date, when it's due date. It may have 2 weeks, it may have 1 week. So you have to see. Actually, it will go on the proliferation because they will add up some sugar inside there for the bacteria to grow inside. So the more bacteria there, that doesn't mean it's good. So we have to understand how much is good and how much is that. If we certain products, if you're available in the market, and I think they already emphasize daily once or daily twice, depends on the live microorganism available there. So lifespan depend on the particular product. What is the mention about it? Even a normal thyroid that you eat in the shops and everything, you buy or you do yourself. Among a lot of Indians, we do our own thyroid in the house. That's a home science that we learn in the science at home. Most of the Indian ladies will know how to do that. Very simple procedure. Then we can continue with that. So other way of rich probiotic in the body beside food intake. Other way to have a rich probiotic in our body. Hard to say that. It's already inside the gut system. So if you take antibiotic, it flush off. So that's what we always say. Immediately during the antibiotic period, we cannot stop antibiotic because that's the medical give you because of based on your disease and to treatment base. So you have to continue antibiotic and at the same time eat the probiotic food and everything. So this need to be taken externally, and products available. You can consume it in the food base or in a sachet form or what do you call that, gel, capsule gels and everything. Okay. What is the recommended time to take probiotic drink? Is it before, during, and training?
Next question is from Hamiza. Her question is, may I know when is the recommended time to take probiotic drinks? Is it before, during, or after training? To mean is specific for the athlete or those who are active person, and it is good before or after take a meal. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, a good question is always a common question when we do nutrition education for public, and they always ask this question: is it any probiotic can take at any time? Yeah, any drinks if you have, you can take at any time. I usually will advise people to take after your food intake, normal food intake. It's just an additional food, or take together when we are eating together. So it's okay to take. And for athletes and everything, they can even take after or before or during, because it's a small products and they are not buying 1 gallon of it and drinking about it. It's a 1 cup of a day. And as I say there, bottle, small bottle or big bottles, the more bottle you drink, you get more health benefit. No, it's something like you are taking a paracetamol, more you will get easier fever, better, faster. No such thing. You have a dose to take. If you miss the dose, you don't take the extra dose in the next dose that you have to take. You cannot do that. Similar in food also. The more it's not, because it will interact with the body, in the gut, in the stomach. Other foods are interactions are there. So if you eat more fatty foods, and you tend to take a probiotic, then fatty will delay the gastric emptying. So this also delay in the absorption base. So you have to know what you are eating. I would advise take after your meal. In between as a snack, you can take it as your food. In the training, yes, you can take it after the training or before the training. No harm. Good before or after meal? Definitely is after meal. I would go for after meal.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Doc. So this one is not appear on the screen.
Okay,
It's
no
question
problem.
orally from the Director of Division of Research and Innovation, Dr. Yo Weekend. So
Yes.
he will on the screen now. Okay, we wait for a few minutes or seconds.
Sure. Pleasant to meet him also. Long time already. I'll always see him in the Facebook or either online only, everything nowadays.
Tadi dia ada approve, jadi sepatutnya dia
There's a technical error, but
Okay, no problem.
we proceed to another question. Next question from Tam Yip Siong. The question is: some athletes have no access to probiotic
financially,
financially and geographically. Is there any staple food that enhance stimulate the probiotic colony remains sustainable? So this probably the role of the Vice President of FNSM can give the answer.
This is a national agenda issue, food security issues, yeah, and affordability of a person. And geography in Malaysia is always a problem. We are in a kampung. Kampung in Peninsula masih lagi boleh pergilah macam mana pun boleh. Kalau di Sabah and Sarawak, the rural is really rural and very difficult to get through. But as I said, our culture, we always emphasize certain food in a fermented food base. Some of them eat tempeh, yeah? So there is a probiotic inside there, but it's not classified as a probiotic per se because the 10 power of 6 is not there. So what is inside there is a lactic acid bacteria, LAB is there. So if you take regularly, you can take from there. So any fermented food that you have been practicing it in your particular culture, vegetable. Among Chinese, they have a fermented Chinese vegetable phase and like cream cheese, and they do have like cabbage and everything all. So this kind of food all you can regularly take. For Indians, we do thyroid. If you a bit find it difficult, you can take daily. Actually, among Indian practice, you have to take daily. I don't even take daily because sometimes depends on mood. But in India, South India especially, which is a part of their meal, take yogurt, which is the thyroid, completely every day. And or you can make it a beverage drink, your own self. Make your yogurt, put some fruits inside there, but not durian, yeah, please not durian. And then now is the season of durian. Every corner, people are eating durian. So it may not appropriate, but mango, apple, just now you see apples, you can mix with the yogurt, make it lassi drinks and everything, but do not add sugar. Try to avoid sugar inside there. Even honey and everything, it's all calorie based and everything. Try to eat drink the fruit juices without any sugar based additive. So Tam, I know it's financially a bit difficult. You can make your own drinks as well. I think Dr. Yo is having difficulty to come in, yeah? I saw him coming and going.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
So we proceed first.
Okay.
The next question. And the question is, sorry for the lack of time.
No problem. In the market, they
Okay,
have yogurt.
Karen Leong. In the market, they have yogurt drinks like Vitagen, Yakult, but sugar level is higher and is more than needed. Is it advisable to consume daily?
Okay, Karen, you do ask a good question. I will tell you, most of the products of your probiotics base or yogurt drinks, they will add up sugar inside there because it's a part and it's a requirement for the bacteria to makan. Yeah, the food is actually sugar they're providing. So if you go in these two products you've mentioned about it, definitely they have the low sugar, they have the normal sugar base. They have two different type of products. So if you take any of that, even with the sugar or less sugar, this is all hidden sugar. So now you already know there is a hidden sugar in that particular product. So when you are taking your daily diet, try to avoid taking extra sugar, which is that you can add up. Like these products are healthier products compared to the kueh mueh that you are eating with high in sugar. So you may reduce that part, though you enjoy eating. I'm not telling don't eat, don't get stressed up for that. Because nanti our makcik who are selling kueh will very upset with me. I also do like kuehs. Once in a while we take also, but the amount, the quantity that you are taking. So at least educate yourself. Okay, I'm taking this product. This product has sugar this much. Okay, I need to reduce sugar in a different format. I'm not telling, completely avoid the products and everything, or the food that had a high sugar and everything. So you have to justify looking at it, your total food intake for the day, and reduce that particular sugar level inside there. So it is not sugar level is not more than needed. It's actually required. They don't put more sugar inside because there is a rules also in their food product preparation. So they have to follow that. And sugar is not cheap, yeah. They also have to pay. Oh, welcome.
Hi.
After all the struggle that had to go.
Hi, thanks, Dr. Mahir, for the interesting presentation.
Thank you. It's my pleasure
I'm just
to do that.
wondering, because when I look at the maybe it was just too brief, the data they presented on
Yeah.
strength and power performance and this probiotic, I thought the data wasn't too strong. Like the trend is just 0.1, and you don't call it a trend, I suppose. And what about others? And any other study that show direct, like for strength or?
So far, none there, because I searched yesterday also. Even that particular paper, they only said the power of the study is still low. They're trying to emphasize the mechanism. There's a possibility. What they're trying to say, the mechanism is there. So more study need to be explored in that. That's why the ISSN also informing the significance of the study is still not evidence based. It's not sufficient enough, but there are trends. So what they are trying to say, we cannot omit 100%, but the potential is there.
I see. So they are hypothesizing that by taking probiotics that help the absorption of protein.
Yeah. The protein is that particular part very interesting. I noticed that they didn't put a study separate group, it's all combined.
Yeah, they could have measured the protein in the blood then, which they didn't, obviously.
Yes.
Fine.
That's where the new study is going to move on. The gap is there already, so we have to go and explore on that. I'm so much interested when they said, "Oh, this is something new." In Malaysia, it's so difficult for us to do that part. I'm sure you will agree with me. To do a muscle biopsy on that kind of study, I don't think so. I can dream on that. Animal models, yes, I can do that.
Well, I think it's fine. It's you can measure something in the blood, just whether the protein is increased or not with the consumption of this.
The systematic lah.
Systematic.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can discuss about this later. It's fine.
Sure.
Thank you very much for the interesting presentation, Dr. Main.
Yeah, thank you. Very good question, and that's why I said potential is there, and we have to explore. I hope ISN, people like you all, we really were glad to work together. This is where I think the moreover our culture take fermented food. So I think we need to do more works lah.
Sure. That will be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. After so struggle to come inside.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Yo. So we have a limit of time.
Okay.
So there are a few questions more, but we will compile it back.
Oh, sure.
Thank you for all the questions from the audience. If you have further questions, you could email us at the email in the chat box, and your question will be forwarded to the relevant person. On behalf of ISN, I would like to thank Dr. Mahendran to taking time to share his insight with us today. Thank you also to all the audience for your attention. We hope you had beneficial time today. Do keep in touch with us via the ISN Facebook, or they call as a Perform Facebook, for any updates and on our upcoming events. So with that, thank you. Stay safe, everyone. Bye.
Yeah, please stay safe. Don't think that the numbers are going down and you can move around. Yeah, walaupun dah lifted 10 kilometer, but please take care, because we are not sure what is going to be the waves going to be. The new strains are there, and please eat more fruits and vegetables. Emphasize on that. Kalau boleh, don't overcook it. The meal preparation is very important as well. Stir fry it, and if you can eat it edible to eat in raw, please take that part as well. The vegetables and everything. Please take fruits and vegetables, local fruits and vegetables. I always try to say, don't need to go and look for Hawaiian apple or orange or US and everything. Kita tak ada orange dalam Malaysia, so don't worry about that. So go and take jambu batu, they are available. Jangan ambil dengan kicap dengan asam boil lah. Don't do that kind of nasty way of eating. Eat the fruits basically. Eat the local fruits. Durian is there. Bukan sebiji kena makan. 2-3 ulah cukup lah ya.
Thank you for your advice and good promotion for the local fruits.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much for ISN. Thank you, Rizal, for moderating the session. It was very interesting. Nuga, the other side, the IT people were in ISN. Thank you very much. You are so helpful. I learned a lot of things in this IT new system, Webinarjam. Really is a good jam for us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for good questions and discussion. Thank you. Okay, mana nak tutup? Tutup sendiri tutup kan?